That was it. That was a stinger.
Yeah.
Just that. Rambo origin movie, guys. Yes, John Rambo, the origin movie.
Surely not with Sylvester Stallone. They've got to
No.
recast it. Okay, all right.
No. So I'll just read the article and then we'll sort of talk about it really. So you just get the facts. So Deadline, this is an exclusive to Deadline. It says, in the words of John Rambo, nothing is over. Action vets Millennium Media, known for the Has Fallen or Hitman's Bodyguard and the Expendables franchise, are launching John Rambo at the Cannes Market, a prequel to the 1982 action classic First Blood. Rare Exports, Big Game, and Sisu director Jaumari Helander is set to direct from a screenplay by writing duo Rory Haynes and Sohrab Noshirvani. The aim is to start principal photography in October in Thailand. The film's plot is under wraps, but it will be the origin story of a young John Rambo during the Vietnam War. So, obviously, the location-wise, unless you're going to go to actual Vietnam to do it, Thailand's actually it's a good trade-off location-wise. Like it's the same kind of geography, topography, and the sort of flora, and so it'll work quite well, I think. With casting in early stages, we understand Sylvester Stallone is aware of the project, but he's not currently involved. However, the door is open should a fitting role arise. They're not ruling him out, but it would be weird to have him in it. But even if they had him on board as an executive producer role, I think that'd be good. You know, a little bit of a nod. So that's kind of it. There is a statement here, which will probably reassure some people. We're thrilled to introduce a fresh new chapter to the Rambo legacy. This project is a tribute to one of the best franchises in movie history that will appeal to both longtime fans and new audiences alike. With Jaumari Helander at the helm, a filmmaker of exceptional vision and energy, we found the perfect director to deliver a high-concept, action-packed experience. The would-be director says this: I've been the biggest fan of Rambo since the age of 11. It is so surreal to be in a situation where I can actually make my own Rambo movie. The chain of events that got me here makes, in a fantastic way, my whole childhood make sense. I can't wait to bring the greatest action hero back to the big screen where he belongs. Now, I don't know if you know this, Bo. I'm pretty certain Culture does, but Sisu is this director's last film. It's really bloody good. It's a really good film. It's brilliant. Like, Sisu is solid. Like, you've never even heard of it. You've never even seen it. That's a film I would just say, just go watch it, Bo. Like, it's great. It's a great film. Basically, it's like what is even the premise? Old man finds gold. Old man gets sort of his gold stolen by Nazis. Old man turns out he was actually like a pretty major war guy and goes absolutely mental on a massive rampage against the Nazis all by himself, and it is batshit fucking crazy. That's kind of the premise, I guess. It is mental, but it's really good fun. So, knowing that that's the director, I have a little bit more confidence, just because his previous film is great. Like, it's a solid film. John Rambo origin movie. Do we need it? No. Is it a bit creatively bankrupt? Yes. Would I begrudge seeing another one, though? From the Sisu director? I'm open to it. You just have to get someone really good in the role. And they'd have to be physically good, right? Physically a beast. Because he's, this is like, this would be champion, although he might be natural here, but this would be like champion natural bodybuilder status here, right? Like, this is not a small guy. So they'd have to have the physicality of Stallone. So the casting has to be perfect. So what do you think, Bo? We'll go to you first, mate.
Is it not Timothy Chalamet? I heard some people in the chat have mentioned Chalamet.
No, it's
Is
not.
that not?
There's no casting. There's no casting at all.
Okay, fine.
People are saying they'll cast
You
Timothy Chalamet.
You need someone. Yeah, you need someone ripped, because I mean, well, Sly isn't that big in First Blood, but in Rambo 2 and 3, he is roided to the tits. He is roided up, some of the thickest neck and traps I've seen. He's like Rambo 3 or whatever. Ridiculous. So anyway, you need someone pretty beefy. Yeah, I exactly agree with you. Is this necessary? No. Is it needed? No. If it's done well, will I enjoy it? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, sure. If it's done well, if it's good, yeah, I got time for. Well, this is my relationship with Rambo. Okay, when the Rambo films were out in the 80s, I was too young. I wasn't allowed to see it. They're 18s, right? It's an 18 movie. Not allowed to see it. So I didn't see the first Rambo. I was, I don't know, 14 or 15, something like that. And I think it was Rambo 2. And Rambo 2 and 3 are sort of ridiculous action movies, right? It's sort of an over-the-top action movies, aren't they? So for years, quite a few years, I wasn't that fussed about the Rambo franchise. And it wasn't until I was probably about 20 or 22 or something before I saw First Blood. And I think to this day, I think First Blood is a brilliant movie. Just on its own, I think it's a really good movie. A great script, great story, really well acted. So I honestly think in and of itself, it's a great movie. Rambo 2 and 3 are just sort of a whole different thing almost to me. So if they can get back to sort of the First Blood thing and like make it good, make it kind of real and like a human story, then and it's done well and the casting's right, I got my fingers crossed for it. If it's just sort of a fairly stupid throwaway action thing where he's just mowing down hundreds of people and he's sort of, there's no tension, you don't think is in any real danger at any point, not so much. So yeah, I suppose I've got my fingers crossed for it. Hopefully it's more First Blood than it is Rambo 3, right? I guess that's my take.
No, I agree. I think it'd be difficult because you've got to tell a story of a normal person. How I would do it, right? How I would do it is you've got to tell the story of a normal person being, enlisted, conscripted, whatever, into the Vietnam War, and how that changes him and the trauma that he suffers during it for First Blood to happen, right? Like, because that's what it, you've got to have that PTSD and that trauma. And so if they were to do that, that's what I would do. That's a good story to do. Like that's solid. Like that's a really good arc as well, because you'd spend time with a character where he's pretty normal guy, just sort of going about his life, doing his thing. I don't know, get sort of, enlisted, whatever. And by that point, by the time he's sent to Vietnam, you spent a good at least half an hour with a pretty normalish guy. You sort of, as an audience, you would have an affinity for the character at that point, and then just sort of goes into this sort of traumatic war mode for the last, I don't know, hour and a bit. That'd be epic. That's how I would do it anyway.
Yeah, if they made it really gritty and real and about the horrors of war, the horrors of loss, then I think that would be cool. Again, that would be sort of the artistic direction I would take it in if it was my project. Yeah.
Culture, I don't know how much of this you heard, but
all of it. I'm very familiar with the story, and I'm not as intrigued or as forgiving as you guys. I'm kind of worried with what this could do to all of the other films. You have to remember, the only reason to go back and make a prequel is to destroy the sequels, everything that came afterwards. That's the Star Wars way of doing things. That's the Disney way of doing things. If you can't go back and make a prequel, you make a live action. I'm surprised they didn't try to make an animated Rambo, prequel. It's just anytime they do that, they just seem to destroy the thing that came before. I'm getting sick of that.
The people behind the Expendables franchise. So it's not really.
Yeah. Now I will say the one thing I think would be decent about this would be the Finnish story. Sisu was one of the better movies that you can find in the last 6 years. I would suggest if you haven't seen it, Bo, to see it. It's very, very good. And I will tell you, I want to see something from that director. I just don't know that it would be this. I think it's going to be really hard to cast. I think if you don't get it right, and if the person can't do a decent imitation of Sly's pattern of speech and accent, I think it'll fall very far short for real fans like myself. On the other hand, if they do it right, I will be much less concerned. If it's a good film, that's all I care about. But what are the chances?
People in the chat saying there is a Rambo cartoon. I've not ever heard of it, but
no, yeah, I mean from way back when. I'm talking about I used to watch that, but no,
I think you're getting Millennium muddled up with Disney, mate. Like they're not exactly the habit of destroying or doing prequels, even, to be fair.
Well, so. I just think this is a reach. I think it's much of what you said is accurate. I just feel like maybe this isn't going to go over well. But hey, I would love to be wrong. I would love for something to be good. So maybe they can find something that's good.
Fair.
Shooty Gatwa as Rambo.
That I'm sold. Let's do it. Get on it now, Bo. Let's email them. Let's do it.
Oh dear Lord.
Stephen McBride. Timothy Chalamet as a young Rambo, please. No. Go away. Awful. You spent $2 telling me that. No. Terrible opinion. When I covered this story, I posited that this chap could probably do it. Decree Montgomery, whatever his bloody name is. So he was in Stranger Things. Like, he'd have to bulk up, but I think he could probably do a youngish Sly.
Culture makes a good point. Are they actually going to do an impression of Sly, though?
Well, there's nothing to say that they will do that.
Yeah, I know.
But you'd have to have them in the same time period, right? Like, so the styling, the aesthetic has to be the same. Now this guy's kind of done that already. Like, you just have to get in shape, I guess. But I don't know. This was one of the people that came to mind. The other one was Zac Efron, but I think he'd be too. I think he's too old now, to be honest.
As I say, yeah, he's getting on a bit, isn't he? He's got to be knocking 40 odd.
Yeah. Or there's an unknown. Maybe there's someone out there that we've never even seen. That'd be good. Why not? The Montgomery chap, the Stranger Things guy, that wasn't people in the chat. That wasn't me saying, oh, he's a really good actor. He could definitely do it. It was just from an aesthetics perspective. Like, could probably slot into that quite like a fine. It'd be all right. But yeah, who knows?